Now 16 forever. Rock a block, rock a fella.
I'm feeling it. Feel the passion, it's feeling it. Feel the legs pushing up on the ceiling. Feel the high that you get from the line. If you feel it,
Keep it real in the most. I know you're feeling it. Crystals are nice, I like the toes, I keep on feeling it.
Tonight, we have a close friend of mine, retired Bronx Detective Kendo Kinsey, who served 22 years in the NYPD, 444832 precinct, and his rank of detective was well-earned and overdue. To my flank tonight is our technician, Marcus Franklin, and please remember to tap the screen, like, and subscribe. Brother Kinsey, welcome to Ronnie Boom Radio. We are most appreciative of your time, and so let's get into it.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Like I said, 22 years of hard work, and once again, like I said, well overdue, but well earned. It's funny. I picked up the Daily News, and the title says a few years ago, "Cop hits back," and I see a picture of guess who. So, first of all, I just want to say I'm glad to see that the NYPD still had members with enough moxie to fight back when appropriate. But I'm not surprised. When you came out of police academy, you came out as a foot soldier in the beginning of Operation Impact, so no surprise there. Before walking through the incident, right? Just give me a little bit of a peek of any service or background you had prior to the NYPD.
I don't even know where to start. As far as service, how can I say? My whole life was surrounded by police, even though I didn't see them. From when I was a kid and things that I really want to say parents, but I'm going to say my parents, as my mother, she got into a lot of trouble when I was a kid. So that right there played a part that I didn't even know that was going to happen somewhere in the near future. So as growing up and went through high school and everything, I joined the United States Marine Corps. I had that goal ever since like the 5th grade. So no matter how bad I was or how whatever, my elders, whoever took care of me, because I moved around a lot my whole lifetime. So whoever took care of me, they always used to say, yo, remember you want to go to Marine Corps. If you want to go to Marines, you have to get good grades. You have to do that. You have to do that. Boy, my proudest moment was graduating high school to enlist in the United States Marine Corps. And with that, I did 8.5 years.
Okay.
And that 8.5 years, I've been all over this planet. I'm a combat veteran. I went to Iraq. I went to war. I was with a very, very prestigious battalion in the Marine Corps, 17. And they're known for lack of better words, kicking ass and taking names. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the 17.
And that's who I was with until it was time for me to leave and go on my next adventure in life. And then I joined the NYPD with a little bit of story behind that. But yes,
So
that's when I joined.
Yeah. So what's the story behind that?
So I remember it was about time that my first enlistment, I joined in 97. I did about 4 years. And when it came close for me to get out, I remember a lot of people in the Marine Corps was leaving. They were becoming cops. So I didn't know what to do. I didn't know my next move in life. So basically, I was like, fuck it. Sorry to say it like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the NYPD test. So I asked for permission to take some vacation time, so to speak. They call it leave. I said, I want to take leave for a couple of days, go up to New York, take the NYPD test, and come back down. He was like, nah, you can't do that. But what we will do is we'll give you permission to go out of bounds for the weekend to go up to New York to take the test.
Gotcha.
So they gave me permission, get in the car on a Friday. Test is on a Saturday. I drive all the way up to New York. Get in about 2 a.m., drop my stuff off, get a little bit of rest. My test is at 8 o'clock in Brooklyn. I've never been to Brooklyn a day in my life. Drive to Brooklyn, get out there, take the test. I feel good about the test. Back then, you had to like the answer key. So you keep a tally of your answers, and then it was like, oh, we'll send you the test score in the mail, and you can compare answers and figure out, what your score was. Right. So I'm taking the test and I'm busting it out, putting down my answers, and I'm like halfway through the test, and I realized the test was different than the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps test, they give it across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, the NYPD went up and down. Yeah. So by the time I got to a certain point, I was like, oh, damn, I messed up. So I had to erase, and I did it again, copied out my answers, and I scored like an 82. Nothing big deal.
Right.
So in about a week and a half later, they sent an envelope to my house, tell them to open it up. I got a 66. I was like, oh, Jesus, I failed. How? I don't know. I called up and found out they said, my Scantron was wrong. I had a lot of double answers. So I failed. Right. I was like, all right, whatever. Maybe it's not meant, Yeah. And I re-enlisted in the Marine Corps for another 4 years. Best thing that ever happened to my life. Best thing. Because before, you join the Marine Corps, I joined straight from the bottom. Right. I'm a private, and I worked my way up all the way up to sergeant. And that second enlistment made me. I started being more of a supervisor. I had guys under me, guys and girls under me. So it really taught me how to be a supervisor, how to groom, how to look out for people, how to understand different people from different cultures, from all backgrounds. So with that, when it was time for my enlistment to be up, right, I took the test one more time. Right. I took it on my birthday. I was a walk-in. This time I did it right, and I wound up passing, and the rest is history.
Yeah. So, real quick, highs and lows of your time in the Marine Corps. Is there anything that you can remember specifically within those 8 years?
Highs and lows. Wow, that's a good question.
Take your time, man.
No. You really get to know yourself, and I hear it's that big expression that's going around town like, yo, you dropped the bag, yo, you lost the bag, yo, you lost the bag. I'm sorry to bring this up. This is a sidebar. Mm-hmm. Somebody told me the other day, he was like, yo, Kinsey, or he called me by my name, yo, Kendrick, you dropped a lot of bags. Mm-hmm. Meaning I had a lot of chances for experience that I messed it up on my own. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes I feel that I didn't deserve it. Okay. And that's truthful. I'm sorry. So, I messed up a lot of things that I should have succeeded, but the way that my life took me, it worked out perfectly. Okay. With that being said, it's like I could have been wherever, I could have been high up, whatever, because I was placed in the right places, doing the right things, but I messed it up and I had to backslide. Sometimes failing doesn't mean that you fail. It's a learning process. Yeah. And it makes you into the person that you are today. So even when I joined the Marine Corps, when I joined NYPD, the failing in the Marine Corps made me relate to other people in the street.
Okay.
So it just molded me in so many good spaces.
You know, and it's funny you say that, you know, Kinsey, because Detective Kinsey, because I realized when I worked with you in a foot post as a rookie, when we were out there on Wythe Place, when we were either out there on Marcy, Summit Avenue, right? Ogden, right? You just had a very down to earth view and how you dealt with people, right? You know, there was no ego. There was no, I'm better than you. It was, this is my job. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm here to serve and protect. And you really did a great job of that. And you taught me, you know, from somebody who was a tri-state person who lived in Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. You know, I didn't, you know, at the time I wasn't used to the Bronx. You know, that took some time to assimilate to. So, you know, you kind of showed me the way a little bit, and I really appreciate you for that, brother, because, you know, you didn't just leave me out there on the string, you know, so I really appreciate that, man.
Thank you. You know, one thing that I've learned, right, and I had to learn it real fast, that, you know, they tell you, you learn things in the academy, and as soon as you get into the street, they be like, forget all that.
Right, right.
You know, and you be like, yo, what do they mean by that? And it's like,
you know what they mean
like
by
my first arrest, and it might have been maybe a month into it. And I was blown away by what these cops knew and who I was riding with, the experience that they had, and probably was maybe even 5 or 6 years more than us.
Right.
You know, or maybe even, you know, maybe 8, you know, but they knew so much. And my first arrest, and I remember like was yesterday. Hell, I live down a block from it right now. I was like, oh, it's like that in the city. Like people watch TV and can't relate and don't understand until you live through it.
Correct.
And by living through this life, I know you said 22 years. So I did 19. I did my military. I brought my military back, so I got credit for 22. So I don't want to take nothing from it,
right?
But I did 19 years. So
hey man, hey, we gotta definitely applaud that, man. Great work.
Thank you. So it was just a learning process. But once I got that first arrest out and done and open with, and the experience I've had from the 404 precinct, I mean, I don't really want to name no names, but we had an officer, Miller, that worked in the 404, old timer.
Yes, sir.
And I remember I had my first arrest, and I was a rookie, and don't know my head from my toes. And this man, on his time, but I realized something different now, but on his time, he walked me through the whole process.
Yes.
Yo, you go from here. He waited for me. I did that. I went to the next step. He waited for me. I did that. The next step, I waited for me. He did that. Spoke to the DA. If he waited for me, I did that. Then after that, he was like, all right, yo, young man, have a good day. I'll see you later. I've never forgotten that.
Yes. Shout out to Officer Miller. Yes, sir. Yeah. And, you know, now Detective Kinsey, also, you know, while we at it, you know, I want to shout out Diane Powell also, right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I owe her a lot of pens.
So many gems that we take for granted. And like, I'm glad this is bringing it up because I'm going to start writing after this. It's like so many experiences we take for granted until somebody brings it up. You be like, yo, I forgot all about that. She had the little bathroom club, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
It just, and you don't know, people are setting good things in your ear. Of course, bad things also.
Right.
But I like to take the good in people and the reason why they do it. And then, 15 years later, guess what you're doing?
Correct.
Because you were taught right and correctly.
Correct. No, definitely. These are just some of these things that are treasures that we get. We always remember, right? And we always keep with us. But I kind of want to just now fast forward a little bit to, the incident that I ended up picking up the paper and seeing you in the front page on. Could you walk me through that incident? What it was like that day before actually the incident even happened.
You know what? I like the words you use, walk you through. Can I walk you through something right quick?
No problem.
If you're looking at the camera, is this what you're talking about?
That's exactly what we're talking about. And you have it framed.
I have it framed.
It doesn't get any better than that.
I have it framed. You know what? I just got it framed. You know what? And then I'm gonna walk you through something else. Hold on, let me turn this around.
Yes, sir. Yep.
It's something that I'm proud about, but not proud about.
Okay.
Because you watch all these cops videos on TV, and as cops, I always used to say, it won't be me. It won't be me getting beat up in the street. Oh, no, it's not going to be me. Until you're in that moment. So let me break down the whole day. So I get to work. I was a neighborhood coordination officer. If you don't know that, it's like we have two guys in charge of a sector. It's me and my partner, Officer Jonathan Nevaez. He's awesome. One of the best men I've ever met in my life. You hear me? One of the best men I've ever met in my life.
Shout out to Jonathan.
Yo. But anyway, so we're in charge of Sector Charlie. We're the neighborhood coordination officers. We ride around, speak to the neighborhood, find out what's going on, see their needs, what they need, or any gripes or complaints, try to make their living conditions a little bit better.
Correct.
While we're there. And I'm not gonna lie, we did our thing. And let's fast forward to that day. We're on patrol in our sector, and we get a call for assistance in 85 to that location, 1, 3, 6, and 7. We were a block away, and they just called. We were a block away. I'm driving. I get there, jump out the car. Y'all see the body camera. And I'm looking around. I'm scanning. I'm hearing voices, seeing what's going on, finding out the officers that need help. That time, I see him picking them up off the ground, and I'm just perimeter security. Make sure nobody gets to him. Make sure they pick him up, bring him to the car. That was my job. Everything was handled. This time, we have the female just walks up. I tell her to stop. That's my boyfriend. He's getting locked up. I just want to give him a kiss. Mm-hmm. No problem, ma'am. I have her arm. I give her a kiss. Mm-hmm. That time, the man whispers something to her. I overhear her. And she's looking, he's looking, I pull her back. And that's when
Hey, Detective Kinsey, do me a favor, Detective Kinsey. Detective Kinsey.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second, because I just need you to back up to when you said, right after when you said you were helping her to put her into the vehicle.
Put who in the vehicle? I didn't say that yet.
Oh, sorry.
No. I was just security so they can get the perp up that they had us to bring him to the vehicle.
Correct.
To the RMP to get back to the precinct. But she came and intervened. So she asked, "Oh, I just want to give her a kiss. Can I give her a kiss?" Been there, done that. Like you said, I'm a gentleman. Kiss your girlfriend goodbye, because and that's it. He mentioned something to her, I pulled her back.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when the whole thing came about.
Okay. Gotcha.
And, as soon as, like, I seen her, I knew, like I said, I knew she was a female.
Right.
So it's like, my guard is down, but not too down.
Right.
But it happened so fast, and everybody may see the videos and look in my eyes. It's not like, oh man, I messed up. It's like, fuck, I had patrol, now I have this collar.
Right.
That was my first thought. Like, damn. Like I did not want to collar today. I wanted to chill. I had patrol. Damn, I didn't want to collar.
Right.
She falls to the ground. I pick her up, place her back. It was simple as that.
Yeah.
My hand was hurting the whole ordeal. I went to the hospital. Let me run you through my whole thing. So I'm in a hospital, a couple other officers in the hospital. Of course, I escort.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in a hospital. We're talking about the whole, fiasco and how it went down and things that we could have changed or things that we didn't like or things we could have done better, things that cops do.
Right.
And before you know it, I get a text message. I have a text message from one of my friends. Are you okay? And I'm like, my reply was, damn, how'd you know I was in a hospital?
Right.
And he was like, no, the video. I'm like, what video? He said it's all over social media. So I'm like, I don't know no video. I'm in a hospital. And sure enough, he sends me the link to the video. Mm-hmm. I see the video, and we're still in a hospital waiting room. And in like 20 minutes, the video's on the news. And all of us cops are looking, and they have the patients out there. We're mixed with everybody. Now they're looking at us, and we're looking at them. And I was like, no, we need to get to another room. Yeah. It was just a very bad day. Yeah. Very bad day.
And you never really got your just due to actually speak your piece, right? Because it's just how things work procedurally within the department, right?
And I'm not going to sugarcoat this at all. I knew I was good. Like, I've seen people get jammed up, and I've seen videos. Everybody's seen videos. Like, oh, he's going to get in trouble. He's going to get in trouble. I'm not going to lie. From day one, from the time that it happened, I knew I was going to be good. To the point that I called my brother. I'm like, yo, something happened at work. We got to get a bottle, and we got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Immediately, the same day, my brother came over. We drank. We talked about it. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Right.
So the next day is in the front page paper. Right. It's crazy.
I mean, at that point, right, did you feel that you were backed by the department?
At that time, nothing really came out. I mean, of course, it says it in the newspaper, but I knew since it went down, the training experience that I had from like being in a 4.4 and a 4.8, yeah. I knew I was good. Right. I knew I didn't do nothing wrong. Right. And I'm not trying to sugarcoat it or anything like this. I knew immediately I ain't got nothing to worry about. Yeah. Because I really did nothing wrong.
And you got to be so careful about, especially how the media might spin things, and everybody wants a story to be sold, and but in the meanwhile, depending if you're not someone who is has tough skin and understand how things play out, you might be crushed inside. You might continually feel crushed.
I'll tell you one thing. That experience right there is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. Because I know for a fact a lot of people would have folded immensely. That pressure that was going, I mean, I had people at my door. I had security at my door. I couldn't go outside to the store unless I was escorted. It was tough. And then for the people in my building that didn't know what I did, now they know what I do.
Correct.
You know, I was so low key, except for my neighbors and maybe the nosy people knew what I did for a living.
Right.
But as for everyone else, they didn't know what I did. They just know me as the man that comes and goes.
Right. So after that incident, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see any areas of improvement that can happen within the department, or even generally?
First of all, I think they need to bring Impact back.
Shout out to Impact.
Shout out. I mean, we've learned so much in them 6 months, or maybe some people did longer. We've learned so much in 6 months, how to talk to people, how to interact with people, how to figure out people that we didn't even know that we were learning in that experience, even giving people summonses, parking, you know, we learned how to talk to people, you know, we learned how, you know, but now these kids come out, go straight to a car and go on patrol.
So so Detective Kinsey, you're telling me there's no more hospitalized prisoner? There's no more, as you come into the precinct, you're going to be sent to, you know, Lincoln Hospital or
no, sir. No, sir. No, sir. For the first 8 months, their first 18 months, the year and a half. So you got 6 in the academy and a year after that. They cannot be touched.
Oh, that's news. That's news to me.
Yo, they can't be touched. They can't write no summonses. I mean, of course, I've learned, you know, when I see the new kids and something big's happening, I'm like, yo, go that way. Because I remember an officer told me that way. He said straight out, if you're on probation, go the other way. But these kids right now, they just stick them out, they put them in a car, and they check, yo, here you go.
Yeah.
They don't even know how to write a summons. Yo, some of these kids right now, I hate to say, can't even write legible sentence. STPO, they know, can't. And it's a shame. And then, but they come from that age where they're entitled.
Okay.
You know, oh, I'm getting in the car. I'm doing this car. I'm driving the best car. I'm you know, I need AC in a car. Man, we didn't have no ACs in our car. We lucky we sat in one.
Car,
like, yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know, I mean, shout out to the female cops. Y'all had it, especially if you was pretty.
Right.
They had it a little bit easier. You know, some people did not know what an RMP looked like besides the academy, and then the next time was maybe a year after.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Matter of fact, the only time they've been inside RMP was driver's training.
Yeah.
And then the next time is a year and a half, a whole year after that.
If that, yeah.
You don't know what RMP looked like. You was on foot.
A magical moment. But
hold on. I got it even better than that. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No worries.
But listen, there are kids that's in RMPs that can't even drive RMP.
That's nuts.
So you out on patrol and can't even move the car, but if there's emergency, like, yo, I can't that train. I can't move the car. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? like seriously, are you like kidding me? Yo, you can't move the car because I'm handling this thing right here because you don't know what you're doing.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
They're talking, excuse me, sir, excuse me, sir. Oh, why isn't he stopping? Oh gosh, I don't even know. I mean, there's some good ones.
Yes.
There's some good ones, but there's a whole lot of bad ones. I mean, people that I'm not taking this arrest because it's not a gun.
Wow.
It's not good enough. It's not good enough. What? Man, listen.
You know, Detective Kinsey, not for nothing now. Do you remember when we had to go to court as rookies that we used to walk from the precinct? Granted, you're going from what 167 or 169, right, to
161st Street.
161st Street. So I mean, really, it wasn't that bad. But I mean, especially not for nothing in 100 degrees in the summer, and we never thought nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? We just did it. Like we just did what we had to do. And try to get a ride back to the command. Forget about that. Just start walking.
Yo, just like you have to, like these kids are not quick learners. When I realized that you had to go back and forth and we had to walk and take a bus, and then they was like, nah, you don't need those. You better get this type of collar because all you got to do is block. You just stay in the daggone precinct and they call you. Word? That's how it is. Once I figured that out, oh, it's no more going to courthouse for me. No, sir. Wow. But these kids just they don't want to learn. They want everything given. Like when I came on this job, I remember now he's Captain Goutreau. I remember being on foot post with him, and he used to say, yo, I'm gonna be a lieutenant. And he used to say, yo, Kinsey, yo, you from Harlem. I can see the way you walk. And I'm like, yo, I'm not from Harlem. I'm from the Bronx. I hate Harlem. I'm like, I hate Harlem. They store losers. And this is what I was saying. And I was from the Bronx.
You didn't like going to Copeland's?
No, I didn't do none of that. I didn't do none of that. You know, I was like, I hate Harlem. I used to hang out in Harlem when I was younger, but I just hated Harlem. And then on top of that, I didn't want to be a cop in Harlem because everybody I went to high school with lived in Harlem. So it's like, I'm going to see them on a daily basis. And I know you're not up. Now I got to arrest you. I just didn't feel right in my heart. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I elected to go to the Bronx.
Okay. So
but Goutreau was like, yo, I want to be a lieutenant. I can't wait to be a lieutenant. He was like, oh, Kinsey, what you want to be? I said, I just want to be a detective.
Yeah.
That's all I want to be. As a rookie, I want to be a detective. I don't want nothing else. I don't want to be a supervisor. I don't want to be a sergeant, lieutenant, captain. I just want to be a detective. Yeah. And I believe I worked my butt off.
Yeah, you did.
I did everything. I left there with I was about to say 100. Over 530 collars. Yeah. And I think I did my thing. Like I said, I had a lot in my life. I dropped the bag a lot. Yeah. But I think it was just to experience things that I can pass on to others.
Gotcha. And I'm sure you
because if that's the case, I would be that guy who's like, listen, I got everything that I wanted, which I did. I'm not going to lie. But I got everything I wanted, and now I'm too good for everybody else.
And so now for another. So you ended up in the 3-2. What was that experience like? Because that's exactly where you necessarily did not want to go. But
so, like I said, I dropped the bag. So to make a long story short, I got jammed up, and I did a no-no. I left my gun in my car. My car was broken into, and I got modified. Got modified for about 2 months.
Okay.
I wouldn't to my GO15, told the truth. I was here. I did this, I did that. Every place they went to checked out. I didn't lie about nothing.
Right.
What happened, and that was it. 2 months later, they put me, I was jammed up. I went to Bronx Central Booking. That was a very embarrassing point in my life because everybody that I came out with is now doing prisoner transfers, going to the, and they seen me without a shield. So I was embarrassed.
Right.
And it was very, very hard for me to, be known all the time. I'm in Central Booking, dropping off prisoners. Now I'm sitting up here taking your prisoners. And not saying we used to look down at them, but we didn't even understand why they were there. And they didn't have no shields. I just thought, oh, it's so laid back. I didn't know this is where the trouble ones go.
Right.
But so after I went there, I got returned to full duty. First day, I'm like, listen, I'm not disgruntled. Whatever happened, happened. I can't wait to get back in the streets. My first day out, I'm collared. Just to let them know that you didn't break me. First day out, boom, I collared. No, I'm sorry. First day out, I was on a foot post. Second day out, I was on a foot post. Third day out, I had a lieutenant. We had the same tax number. He's like, what are you doing? I'm putting you on the street. I collared my first day out. I was not playing, but to go in Harlem is it's not the Bronx.
Yeah. How different is that? How different is Harlem from the Bronx?
One, the Bronx, they know they're guilty, and they be like, all right, after a while, they be like, all right, you caught. Harlem is no fighting, no fussing. You got me. I'm going to let you arrest me, and then I'm going to sue you afterwards. So they'll stop, they'll let you put you on cuffs, and then before you know it, you got a CCRB or some kind of litigation in the mail saying, Yeah. I'm like, how do you do everything right and you still let people try to sue you? I just didn't understand that. And it really took a lot out of me. It's like, yo, you put down these rules and regulations as for the NYPD. You follow everything to a T, and then you still get in trouble for it. So
do you just feel like it's just a bad precedent, within the department when it comes on to that, or what's accepted on the street at this point?
Yes, but I mean, it differs from borough to borough, but it's just like they have these rules. You follow the rules, you still get in trouble. Then they make more rules. You follow all those rules, and you still get in trouble. Then they make more rules. You follow those rules too, and you still get in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's like, no matter what we do, we still get in trouble.
Right.
So if we do it, we get in trouble. We don't do it, we get in trouble. So it's like, where are these cops turning to? So it's like, I'd rather do nothing and not get in trouble than do a little bit of something and get in trouble and then lose your vacation days or even worse.
Right.
Because I never started taking vacation till towards the end of my career. I had so much fun at work. We didn't take vacations unless it was family trip.
Correct.
People love to be at work.
Yeah.
It was almost like it was almost like the Wendy Williams show. How you say you miss a day, you miss a whole lot. Yeah. So it's like you miss one day at work because you banged out because you were sick, and you come back and you miss everything that happened great.
Yeah.
So people would come to work. Now people don't want to come to work. Oh, I'm tired. I want to bang it and I want to do that. It's just a lack of respect for this job. It's a lack of respect that people even have for themselves because they just don't care.
So where do we go? Where would the department go from here? Right? What would you say would be two things that you'd like to see happen?
One, I think you need to have more than 5 years to become a supervisor. Because all you need is to be able to test good and stay out of trouble, and you're going to be a boss. Right? You score high. I score 100 on the test. I did nothing, but I'm gonna get promoted, right?
Yeah, right.
And all the way up to lieutenant. All I gotta do is just be a great captain. I'm sorry, is be a good test taker.
Yep.
I don't have to do nothing because people say, yo, I took this test, I passed, I'm doing nothing because I don't want to get in trouble to lose this promotion. I keep doing nothing, keep doing nothing, keep doing nothing, keep doing nothing, keep doing nothing until they all the way up the daggone chain. And they did nothing their whole daggone career but want to tell everybody what to do. But one, I think, you know, time, it should be a different rank structure in NYPD for like senior officers and things like that. Almost like they have in like others, like corporals and, you know, like some kind of something, a better rank structure, a better pay structure. So people can actually earn what they want instead of just being given.
Correct.
Because now that the time I retired, I remember we went to one gathering, I hate to say it was a funeral. And when we was coming up, all we seen is cops. All we seen was cops. We didn't hardly see any supervisors. Remember in the first couple of years?
Yep.
None but cops. We hardly seen a sergeant, barely seen a lieutenant. I don't even know what a captain's bar looked like. Yeah. But now everybody's out there. So now the sergeants are the cops, the lieutenants are the sergeants, and it just goes all the way down. Yeah. So I think if you had a better rank structure, pay structure, people would do their job a little bit better to get those jobs. Gotcha. As far as cops doing their job, they do their job. Right. And it's just people just don't like the outcome because they didn't get the outcome that they wanted. That's what makes people so disgruntled.
Yeah. Well, you've served the city of New York well, Detective Kinsey. And
thank you.
I'm very proud of you. You know, to call you my friend and someone who I worked closely with. And you know, this is your time, and I appreciate the fact that you have been brutally honest about your experience, the highs and the lows. And I'd love at some point to invite you back. Or, you know, if you have any more input or anything else that you think that people would like to know about the job in the department, especially people who are planning on choosing this as a career, what would you say to leave off as what to expect joining the ranks of the NYPD for people who are looking forward to, you know, joining the ranks of the department?
So a lot of people I hear, oh, I would never tell nobody to take this job. The job sucks or whatever. I love this job. You know, I damn near shed a tear when I retired. I would tell anybody to take this job. You have front row tickets to the greatest show on earth. There's things in the 22 years that they have people doing now, or 23 years or whatever. The friends that you're going to make, the things that you're going to see, the things that you will experience, the highs and the lows will make you. I wouldn't tell anybody to join this job. Because people say, I would never join this job. And I tell them, then quit. But they won't. Yeah. They won't. You know, why? Because you love it too, you know. But I would tell anybody to join. I still tell people to join. If you can, do it. I mean, that's basically all I want to say.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and you know, thanks for keeping it classy, Detective Kinsey.
I mean, that's just what I do. I mean, it's not even about classy. It is what it is, and that's just from my point of view. It's just experience that I had. Like I said, I've had my highs and I've had my lows. Right. You know, and all my experience, like I said, I dropped the bag so many times. Right. But every time I fell, I got back up and kept moving. Some people, as soon as they drop that bag, they can't get it back up.
Hey, is there anybody that you'd like to send a shout out to while you're on the Ronnie Boom Radio podcast?
Man, we'll be here for another podcast. Okay. No, I'll just say, I can't. I can't just particular one person. I can't. Okay. I really can't. Everybody that I've came in contact to in my life, on this job, off this job, they've impacted me in some kind of way. Mm-hmm. I've known that I've impacted many lives that I didn't even realize that I've impacted. And that was a blessing to me. And people come up to me and be like, hey, Kinsey, remember you did this? In the back of my mind, I'm like, no, I don't remember, but that's just the way I am. And that's the way, I always will be.
Correct.
I like to help people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we still going to shout out Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
We're going to shout out
Jonathan.
Jonathan Nevaez. He actually just started as an instructor in a police academy. Okay. And I know for a fact he's gonna be one hell of an instructor. So if y'all listen to it before y'all join, if y'all get Jonathan Nevaez, y'all in for a treat.
That's awesome. Hey, I want to thank you, Detective Kinsey, once again for coming on here tonight and just letting us see your experience through your eyes. And thank you once again. And I'll hope to hear from you soon. I hope we can do this again. And thank you, brother.